Mute, baby. You on mute. You still mute. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Thursday Night Throwdown with the Sideline Junkies. This is your man, BC, also known as the Midnight Rider. To my right or to my left, because I don't know which one is what, I got the Swamp Queen who's fallen victim to the mute button again. Her and her mute button, I don't know what's going on. They got like beef or something. So for
oh my God, now, can you hear me now?
Now you good. Now you good. You on the mute button, I tell you. It's a weekly battle for supremacy.
It's like a love-hate relationship with this thing. I don't know. It loves me. I hate it.
Like it loves you not. And it loves you not. There's no it loves me. It just doesn't love you at all.
Like it's just easy. Just bless. So we're still in week 7, yeah.
Starting week 7, baby. I said we starting week 7.
Yep. Week 7, kicking it off real good, starting it, still in it, swimming around in that. So we got the Saints and Cardinals tonight, right?
Yeah. That's our Thursday night feature. But we got some. Oh boy.
Who that?
Here we go.
Hey, look, no one says anything whenever you do your Broncos country let's ride and Broncos nation.
You do know that's all like in jest. Like I got tired of hearing this joker say that shit. He said it every time he touched the mic this offseason. So Broncos country let's ride is just like a thing I do just because I just want to be as annoying as Russ. He just was annoying this whole summer. It was like you put a microphone in his face. It was Broncos country let's ride. And then he'd say whatever he had to say. And then like you go back to it. So I made it my point. Like I guess we had one episode. And I was just like, yeah, the whole time I say Russell Wilson, I'm going to say Broncos country let ride. That's all it is.
But honestly, they're not really
he's slow cooking. Really... He's not cooking, he's slow cooking.
They kind of getting drugged. Like we ain't riding nothing. Y'all getting drugged a little bit. But no, we're gonna jump into this.
You see KG?
Yeah,
we got KG on maternity watch, so he's not on set today.
Yeah, he's out. He's down. Not quite down for the count, but I think it's like 6 weeks postpartum maternity leave, somewhere up in there. He's definitely gonna kill me. But it's so freaking worth it. I am here to annoy the hell out of everybody because that is my life's goal. But no, we're gonna jump into this. So we got Jameis. Jameis Winston.
Back up to the backup?
Yeah, back up. He's back up to the backup. Who's the backup?
So I gotta rely on you a little bit on this. So who's the main backup for the Saints?
Dalton.
So Dalton's starting.
Dalton. Yeah, and it's Jameis, then Dalton, and then our favorite created player Taysom, who who doubles as tight end,
everything,
QB, wide receiver, running back, all O-line coach, special teams coach, water boy,
still side dogs.
Yeah, he holding up the field goal. Like Taysom is Taysom. And Taysom's definitely going to do what he does best, which is Taysom. But you have Jameis, who's been in this thing for like 7 years. He stepped on the scene. When I say first round draft pick to Tampa Bay. If I'm not mistaken, back in 2015. So he's been in this thing for 7 years. And to be deduced to being, going from the front of the pack to the leader, essentially the leader, of the team. You're backup to your backup, and not only you're the backup to your backup, you're the backup to his backup, who was originally your backup. So what the F? Like what the H? How we feeling about that?
I think when the Saints went to London, they found something with the package of Taysom Hill, Andy Dalton. They took some things out of the air. I think Jameis has a proclivity to turn the football over, but in this situation, I don't even know if his turnovers were the key. I think it was the fact that Andy Dalton gave the offense a spark. The only problem I think the last week or so that New Orleans has had is Chris Olave took a nasty bump 2 weeks ago in the end zone after he scored a touchdown, so he was out. And I think Michael Thomas, doesn't he have like a hamstring, ankle, or something like that? So so that's their only issue right now is just like keeping people healthy. And I think Dennis Allen finally decided to take the bubble wrap off of Taysom Hill and allow him to be his best self. And Taysom Hill is nobody's starting quarterback. He's the greatest gadget guy known to football. He's probably in that situation with like Cordell Stewart, if you remember that, where he was playing wide receiver and things of that nature. So, but Taysom Hill does everything. Taysom Hill blocks. He sells popcorn. He takes tickets. He plays running back. He plays tight end. And I think
he's in the band.
Right.
He's on the dance line.
Like he's Justin of the band. If anybody knows who Justin is, the white drum leader.
Oh yeah.
So it's all of that. And the beauty of it is that this guy can do all those things and he does them at a high level. So he's like one of those Swiss Army knives. So he can do a little bit of everything. And I think that's where they're at their best, is the fact that they use him to do a little bit of everything, take care of the extras. He fills in the gaps. So when you don't have Michael Thomas, you don't have Jarvis Landry, you don't have all these guys, you have him. And I think they've also been slowly kind of building up Alvin Kamara, and then you have Mark Ingram. So it's kind of one of those things where they just put everything in place around it, and then they just have made it work. And I think this is just what it is. Gumbo's the greatest addition in New Orleans, right? Where you just put like a whole bunch of everything in it, and then you stir it up, and it just becomes one good thing.
No. You can't just put a whole bunch of everything in gumbo, baby. It's
see, I knew I was going to you when I said that.
Let me find out.
So I say goulash.
Hot dogs in my gumbo, and we gonna fight.
So can I say goulash is something that you just put a whole bunch of stuff in? And all right, so like the New Orleans offense is like a goulash, where you just throw a whole bunch of stuff in. So you throw in your Mark Ingram, you throw in your Kamara, you throw in Taysom Hill, and then you get something out of it. And I think that Andy Dalton just manages the process way better than Jameis does right now. And part of that is just the fact that he takes the little nuggets, the short dump balls here, the dump off in the flat, and he keeps the ball moving. So I think that's where we are in that situation.
See, I don't think Dalton lets them get in his head.
Okay.
Like Jameis does. Because they're able to build this around, build up around Dalton, which is essentially what you're supposed to do. You build your team around your quarterback. You mold your team to the style of your quarterback. That's why, Drew Brees, that's why he had such a great, cohesiveness with, Kamara, with, Ingram, with, Cooks and, Sprout. Like, it goes back to everyone that he threw to. They didn't have to look because they just knew it was going to be there. Make it to the 10. It's going to be there. And Jameis doesn't quite have this, like what's being built around Dalton. I think that they should, try to give him a little bit more. but he has to work on his breakdown. Because either James is going to have a good first half or he's going to have a good second half. He's going to hit it real strong for 3 quarters and then he's going to drop out, or he'll, you know, suck for, the first 3 quarters and then he'll pick it up at the end. Um, but no, he can't. And Dalton is more consistent. And it's easier to build on consistency. That's it's kind of why I agree and disagree all at the same time. Um, you know, James needs a little more time to mold that, but he's been in this for 7 years at the same time.
Well, I think it essentially goes back to the part of like Jameis is a feast or famine guy, as I used to call him. So it's either really good or it's really bad. There's no in between. And when you deal with a guy like Dalton, Dalton has enough consistency in him that at least the ball moves down the field, and you give your playmakers opportunities to actually make plays. That sounded redundant, and I apologize, but it gives the playmakers this opportunity to make plays. Where sometimes Jameis will miss on stuff, and then you get your playmakers out of the loop, and then it's hard getting your guys back in the ball game and staying focused on everything. So I can definitely see where that comes into play, and I also see why I think the Saints went that route with Dalton, because at least Dalton moves the chains, which helps them keep their defense off the field. And then with that type of defense that you guys have, it's just one of those things where they just have the opportunity to change the ball game in their own special way.
Right. I agree. So, let's hit the line with it.
Before we go line, let's talk about this craziness in Washington.
Oh, Washington.
So let's take a step back from the game. So this is kind of like God. For real? For real? I got a bad connection, man. I don't know what's going on here.
No connection. No connection.
So yeah, you just posted the Dan Snyder special. He is, of course, in the midst of several investigations. He's also started to lead an offensive against any of the allegations or any of the reports that are against him. The sad thing is, this is what Dan Snyder does, and this is why people in this league are probably just a little bit nervous about attacking him in this situation and trying to get him to sell the team, because the guy is a spoiled brat. He is very litigious. So from the standpoint of just trying to make things work, I think the NBA got lucky with Sarver, and Sarver kind of saw that he wasn't going to be able to keep the team, so he decided to just move on. Back with Donald Sterling, he decided to move on with another team. Back with Jerry Richardson, he decided to move on. The problem that the NFL is going to have with this situation is Daniel Snyder is going to want to take his ball and go home and not play with anybody else if they want to make him sell the team, which in turn is going to actually have him fight this battle in a long situation. So I don't want the Commanders fans to get too excited about what's going on, because I think this is going to be a longer fight than we think. I think he's going to put up a fight. He's going to put out legislation. He's going to put any hold he can on not giving up the team. And the problem is becoming that he has taken one of the better franchises in this league and just destroyed it to the point where this team doesn't make money. So when those receipts come in and the owners are looking like, all right, what are we getting from here? What are we getting from here? It's like a mafia movie. And he called the league owners the mafia. And if he's lucky that it's not really the mafia, because if it was, he would have been whacked by now, because they would have seen his receipts and the lack of money he's making right now. And yeah, Joey Bag of Donuts or Paulie Wallbags would have gave him a vision and took care of him. He'd have been in a ditch somewhere. Sorry for that, but yeah. So what do you think?
Honestly, I think it's 1 out of 32. Who in the hell's gonna miss him? Because if it's gonna take 24 to get him out, I think they're gonna get that 24 with ease. He's playing the dangerous game. He's released a statement, mailed a letter to ESPN. Let me see if I can get it up on here. It's kind of hard for me to read everyone else, but basically it's saying how he has dirt on people, like there's rumors, allegations that's been flying around saying that he has sent his lawyers to hire private investigators to dig up dirt on the other coaches and the commissioner, and he's saying he hasn't. He's definitely refuting these, but with everything else that he has, that he has done, all these allegations, they pile up, whether whether it's with the indecency with the cheerleaders, indecency with other office staff. So I'm not sure. It's a dangerous game that he's playing, and he's trying to take other people down with him. And we got KG in the chat window, while he's home, with his feet up and everything. Shout out to DJ Woody. He puts the link in the chat window, let you know that Commander's new song is out. Everyone has a song. Every team has a song, I guess. So, he said he would have to wake up with a horse head in his bed. Sure. And he's like, he ain't stupid. Of course, Dan Snyder's not stupid. You don't get to the level that you are being ignorant. So, he's definitely playing chess, not checkers.
Nah, you gotta take that back. He's playing checkers. He's not playing chess.
He's playing chess.
He's incapable of. He doesn't have the patience and I was about to say the intelligence to play chess. If you look at what's going on right now, and I say this as a Washington fan, this is typical Snyder. So he's at a situation where things are coming out, and all he can do, if you have a good PR staff, the PR staff will say, hey, just don't respond, sit back, let the cards fall where they lie. But unfortunately, when you have Dan Snyder in place, he is a person that he wants to respond to everything. So he wants to discredit ESPN. Okay. He wants to discredit the Washington Post. He wants to say this is a hatchet job. He wants to say that this is people trying to make me sell the team. So it's not fair if this is all false, blah, 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 blah. It's not all false. You can't have 40 people suing you for something and it's all false, or it's just not the truth. The problem is that he doesn't have the self-awareness to understand where he is, but he does have the smarts. The one place he's playing chess is supposedly Daniel Snyder doesn't have email. Supposedly, so that way you can't tie him directly to any of the stuff that's going on. So he's kind of made this play where he's kind of hands off, and it's like, oh, it's not really me, it's everybody else. So he likes to place blame on everybody else in the staff.
Man,
But
Daniel Snyder got a damn AOL account, like the first.
hey,
Like where
he
you had to
might.
go to
But
the store to buy the CD, to get on the internet. He got one of them accounts.
he might. But the thing is, he's put enough layers in front of him that he's always got a fall guy before him. Whether it's Vinny Serrato, whether it's Bruce Allen, and like they did an interview with one of his lawyers this week on 1067, and the lawyer was like, yeah, the allegations come from Bruce Allen, his tenure, and that's why everything was out of hand. And the hosts were like, no, Bruce Allen was here 10 years ago. These allegations go back 20 years. So it's the thing that's happening is they're playing this game of no, we really didn't do it. No, that didn't really happen. But it did. You wouldn't have these people making these lawsuits if nothing happened.
True. But also you get enough people to say the same thing, it's gonna sound believable.
Mm-mm. No, but sorry. This has been.
And I'm not taking. I'm definitely not taking.
No. Don't take my note.
This baby could go take a long walk off of a short dime, like, and I would be good. I would sleep the same way I slept last night. So, but
But see, you have to understand, like,
he's playing that game. And
say that one more time. I'm sorry.
His end game. That's what he's playing that game. And what is his end game? That's what everyone is kind of clutching their pearls about to see what the hell is he doing.
Well, his end game is if I have to sell, he's Dino Browner. He's gonna bring everybody down with him. It's nothing else to it. Is if you come get me, if you want to have my dirt, but I'm gonna lay out your dirt in the process. Just like allegedly, it's what people are saying that got John Gruden fired. Those emails with him and Bruce Allen that got leaked, and supposedly nobody knows where that leak came from, but Oz and the paper trail kind of goes towards allegedly Dan Snyder. So it's just one of those things where I'm throwing the air quotes the whole time. Every time I say something, it's all allegedly. But yeah, that's where it ends. It's like allegedly we're in this spot where he has done things and he's had the proclivity to do things on a consistent basis that are detrimental. And he's going to have this thing where he is either going to tie this up in court or he's going to do something where he's going to leak things throughout the process.
True. I think some things will probably, appear,
right, magically.
Right. It's Tuesday. Guess what? Coach Tomlin did this in high school. Let's start with that.
Well, it's even worse than that. I mean, you got to think there are there's one bombshell out there, and it's the emails around the time that Colin Kaepernick started the kneel thing. When they started kneeling, I would love to see what those emails look like, those questions look like, the responses look like in that scenario.
Oh, it went out to the good old boys circle.
Right. But who, if everybody kept hitting reply, there's probably some things in there that, we going to see. The other L that the NFL took this week is the John Gruden case. So the NFL tried to get John Gruden's case just to be in arbitration alone and only. So that way, whatever testimony comes out gets kept behind closed doors. Well, unfortunately, the judge didn't allow that to happen. So now we're going to get the John Gruden case live and direct. So we're going to get testimony. We're going to get feedback and information on this situation in a way that we probably never have before. So it's going to be interesting how the response is, what John says, and what's allowed to be said in this courtroom, because the NFL is notorious for controlling the narrative. And in this situation, they can't control the narrative. They can't hide behind Goodell saying giving you blank answers and empty responses. This is going to be something that's going to be live, direct, in front of the world. So this is number one. So if you're trying to count or trying to find a way to get Snyder out, this is one. This is the tip of the iceberg. This is where it starts. Is the John Gruden email situation, and then from there it's going to avalanche into the results from the Wilson report, if we get anything from the Wilkinson report, and then any other information that comes out. So that's your highway to get him out. The only problem is, what legal steps does he take to keep that process from happening?
True. So, everything in a perfect world for you, lines up, just right. The 3 planets, Scorpio, Aries, the clouds are doing their thing. The unicorns are flying. Everything is perfectly lined up for you. Does Snyder get voted out? Yes or no?
He gets here's my thought. Snyder gets voted out, but he doesn't leave. And I'm gonna say that again. He gets voted out, but he doesn't leave. And what I mean by that is, I feel like Snyder, when the vote happens, he's gonna put some kind of injunction in play, and that way the NFL has to go to court or some kind of other route before he's kicked out of the league.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But didn't he put like the team like in his ex-wife or something like that? Didn't he put it in
So
her
what happened
name?
was
And
so
KD
what
said
they
that the
did
team
was,
is placed in a trust. So
the family, his family is the caretakers or the owners of the team. He's just the spokesperson or the front man. His wife is also there. The NFL can kind of try to cheat it and say, "Oh, Snyder can't be involved. We'll put it in the wife's name." But if anybody has any kind of smarts, they're not going to let that happen, because all that means is Dan is still running things in the background. This league needs, if they're going to step away from him, they need a full-fledged step away. The one thing that helped them in this process is about a year ago, Snyder bought out the other owners in his ownership group. So now he has 100% ownership of the team. So it will make it easier for the league to kind of manipulate him out. The only problem is he's going to probably sue or have a case trying to keep that from happening as much as possible.
So basically, they about to be on the London League.
Oh, they about to be at Judge Judy, Judge Wapner, you name it, they got it. That's where they're going to
be. But I mean, so with that, because I know we've talked about it. Especially in the chat, we've talked about it a few times on the show. I can honestly say, we could put that to bed. We could put him to bed and let's see how he wakes up.
Definitely.
If we never talk about Mr. Snyder again, it'd be too soon.
He's going to have multiple conversations had about him.
Yeah, because he's the type that he's the NFL's version of Kanye, so he has to do stuff to maintain relevancy.
You couldn't have said it better.
So there's going to be something that he's going to do. He's going to say. So, but pish posh. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. So the hour has come of the game. It's game time, baby. It's game time. One of my favorite times of the year is football. Football. If you guys only understood how lonely and depressed I am, like the remaining months of the year, like from February to July, August, it's so hard. So hard. I have to party. I have to drink and be a parent, and I just need football.
Sound like football. What's that joint? Wildcats and Goldie Hawn. Every time you say it, you like football, football.
Football. It's football. Yay. But but
But tonight gets really interesting because I know we talked a lot of Saints talk earlier. So on the other side of this, we have the Arizona Cardinals and
mhm.
their young coach, Cliff Kingsbury, who's 26, 28, and 1 in his time as the Cardinals head coach. They get some things back tonight and they get some new additions, not edition. So they're not getting Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. They're getting Robbie Anderson back and they're getting DeAndre Hopkins back in their lineup today. And I shouldn't say Robbie Anderson back, but they're actually getting them in because of a trade earlier this week. And one of the trades that, if you ever wanted to get rid of somebody, this trade was the most I don't care what I get back for you. I just want you gone trade I've ever seen. Arizona traded like a 6th round pick in 2024 and a 7th round pick in 2025 to
Damn.
get the services of Robbie Anderson right now. Carolina did everything but tell me we don't want you here without saying we don't want you here. The other piece, we got Kyler Murray going tonight. You know, he had the big thing this offseason with his contract where there was the crazy clause of he had to have so many hours. I think he had to have 4 study hours uninterrupted in his logged into his computer or his tablet. And of course, that got removed later on after much talking in the press about it. But there's something wrong with this Cardinals team. They're too talented to be this way. I personally think it's a coaching issue, not a talent issue. Well, no, it's also a talent issue because their GM stinks. And I don't know how he kept his job. But yeah, there's a lack of talent and there's a lack of good coaching on this thing. And I'm gonna say it now. I know it says Cardinals minus 2.5 on the line that you picked out.
Yeah, I got that from ESPN.
Okay. So I think personally, I'm taking the Saints and the plus 2.5 because I don't see the Saints losing to this team. Their defense is good enough to get them by, and I think they figured out. Ooh, I didn't like that face. I think they figured out enough with Taysom to get by and make this work.
Like, so first of all, I can't control what my face does whenever people talk.
I see.
Yeah, like it. So, both of these teams are 2-4. Saints are on the road. And we've had history with the Cardinals going back and forth. I couldn't find the exact record of wins versus losses with the Cardinals, but we have out Landry, Thomas, Lattimore, and Trotman. Like, 3 of those guys are key. Um, Defense. Whew, I don't know. I don't know. Like, every game, every team needs their key things to win. Um, you know, what we need is, first of all, we definitely need defense. Like, I don't know what they get to doing out there. They get to running like, oh, hey, we're in a football game. Oh crap. Let me figure this out real quick. And then you have like hits and misses, stroke of genius with them. Um, but and in the end, it turns out to not be good choices because there's so many penalties and they're so careless. Um, and then they need to, like you earlier, let Kamara take the reins more. He's our lead right now. Um, you have Kamara, Ingram, and Taysom. That's our three. That's our big three. But of course, Taysom can fit into another three. Taysom can fit into a four piece. He can fit into a 10 piece. Like Taysom is our Swiss key, Swiss Army knife. He'll fit wherever he needs to be to get the job done. Um, red zone plays. Red zone number three. Red zone plays. Last week, I kept eye on the game, but every time we were 1-5 in the red zone. So like every time we get there, like we lose consistency. Like we would get there, and it's a stroke of genius, and then we get there again, we drop the ball. We get there again, it's a pick. We get there, it's like, oh my God, just quit going there. At some point, just quit going there because you're screwing it up every time. Uh, number four, fundamentals. Fundamentals. Oh my God, just tackle somebody. Anybody. The right body. The body that has the ball. Tackle. I don't know what the linemen are out there doing. They're out there playing powder puff. They playing my football. I don't know. Maybe they think I'm out there and they tackling me so gently. Nah, we'll talk about that later. Um, but tackle, tackle, and tackle right. Like it's fundamental. Like it takes it back to the little league fundamentals. That is where the foundation is laid. All these guys, most of them, like I'd say a good 85% of those guys have been playing football since little league. Tackle somebody, damn it, get them. And then finally, once you're in the lead, hold it, hold on to the lead. Don't dangle it around and play with it a little bit because you're going to lose it. That once you get the lead, that's where your focus needs to drive even harder. Don't lose focus because you're gonna end up like damn the Atlanta Falcons in the 23-8. We're gonna blow the damn lead every time because we have blown the lead almost every time. So, but they have to get it together, and I like that they're building it around, building up around Dalton. Um, he's very consistent, so looking forward to see what he does. You know, um, he's kind of if you close one eye, stand in the dark, and spin around on your left elbow, you could kind of almost think about dreaming about saying that he reminds you of Drew Brees.
That's not exactly the most in the
It
best
was right there.
endorsement.
It was right there.
So so let's take it here. What you picking tonight?
Oh, eh, it
Oh,
hurts.
I'm sorry.
It hurts. Like I want my boys to win, of course. Every team wants their team. Every fan wants their team to win. You know, who that? Who that? Who that? But I'd be surprised if they do,
Okay.
because I think it's going to be some slip ups, and I'm pretty sure the damn refs are going to be fanning. They're going to be fanning everybody. All these damn flags they keep throwing out. Like if throwing a flag was a class, like they would be fucking valedictorians at this point. Because all they do is, penalty on this, penalty on that. Like, damn, dude, you seeing stuff that you ain't supposed to see. All right, cool. Cool. How you 10 yards over here and you looking at stuff 5 yards down. But hey, I digress. But
Mm.
yeah, but I'm gonna take my boys. I Uh, it
You
hurts.
sure?
I want them to win. Of course, I want them to win.
I mean, the last 3 minutes, you haven't said anything like positive to make me think you was gonna pick them. I thought you was taking the Cardinals the whole time.
No. I fucking love my boys. It's
Okay.
like it's like a parent, and your kid. Like I can talk about my kid, but don't you talk about my kid.
Okay. So how's we got the over under at 43.5. I'm taking. I think I'm gonna take the over. And then we got the Cardinals minus 2.5. And I already said I'm taking the Saints in this with the +2. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna take the Saints with the +2. I'm not
Okay.
going to. I'm not going to be surprised if it turns the other way. But
And then the over under is 43.5.
I'm taking over. I'm taking my boys all the way over.
All right, so we're
So,
going with the over. Okay.
yep.
So that's both of us going over the 43.5, and both of us going with the Saints +2.5.
Yep.
Is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
I'm getting nervous now because we actually agreed on something.
I know. I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. So
You knew I could do it. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm happy to, oblige, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you're smart. You're smart. You got this.
Okay. I appreciate that.
I mean, you're good. You're good. It's always a pleasure, a joy to do the show with you. On the air, off the air. You're a pretty cool guy. Uh,
I appreciate that.
yeah, you're pretty cool. I mean, it's the first time I seen you without a hat. Um, so okay, ladies, ladies, there you go. I'm gonna be your wingman. I'm gonna be your wing chick. Ladies, there you
Okay.
go.
I got you. I appreciate that.
He's definitely a lyricist. So if you guys into poetry slams and everything, that Ben's your guy right there. So, but we're gonna wrap this up. It's about to be game time, my time. It's I want to say game time starts at 7:15 Central Time, so 8:15 East Coast time. Um, Saints are on the road, so that's another thing. So, final thoughts, Ben. What you got?
I think this is going to be a good ball game, and it's going to be fun to see what happens. And then the other thing I got to say is a shout out to you. I appreciate the love and the support for my event that I had this week. There's probably going to be more to come, and I'm just going to see where the cards fall.
But I mean, everyone has their own talents, and you just got to ride what makes you happy. You can really see the joy uh, in your writing. So
I
very
appreciate
good.
that.
I can see it. So whatever I can do to boost it, that's me.
All
That's me. I
right, bet.
like to see people happy. Um, but yeah, my final thoughts. Safety, safety for everyone. Um, Ladies and men. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, ladies and men, and men, men do get this too. Um, you know, this is I'm standing on this platform that is the audience is predominantly men, so I know I definitely have you guys' ear. Men get this too. Men go get checked out. Don't think that it's just happening to your mom. Don't think it's just happening to your aunt. It can happen to you too. Make sure you go get your tatas tatad. So yeah, yeah, get Ben, go get your tatas checked. But so,
I
but
thought we were safe.
we were not. You're never safe. You think you're safe with me? No. I can only protect
we
you.
was we was one. We don't do no overtime away from a clean show. Good God. Go ahead.
Why would you think that?
It's okay. Just go ahead and I'm good. I'm
But no,
good.
tonight I have commandeered the board. I have commandeered the screen. So, it's can't really say we don't do no overtime. But you know, we didn't come here for a long time. We just
There we
came here
go.
for a good time. Now it's
There it
that
is.
time to get up out of here. Good night, guys. Love y'all.
Peace.